29 Maoists, including a senior rebel leader, Shankar Rao, who had a bounty of 25 lakh on his head, were killed by security forces during an encounter in Chhattisgarh Kanker district on Tuesday. A huge quantity of weapons, including AK-47 and light machine guns, were recovered. Two BSF inspectors and a DRG personnel sustained injuries in the encounter. The 29 Maoists killed in the Kanker district in this region in this encounter is the highest number of Maoist cadre eliminated since 2021, when Gadchiroli police gunned down 26 ultras, including the dreaded Milind Tiltumbre. Tuesday's operation, which came just 2 days ahead of the first phase of Lok Sabha polls, may have successfully averted a major Naxal strike. Home Minister Amit Shah praising the security forces for their bravery and also said that under Prime Minister Modi's leadership soon, Chhattisgarh and the entire nation will be red terror free. Now on Tuesday, the BSF received a specific tip-off that military company number 5 of the PLGA was in the jungles of the Chote Betia region. Around 2 p.m. contact was established in the Binagunda region. Officials said that the first fire came from the Maoist side, injuring 3 security officials, and the BSF led to at least 29 ultras being killed. Now we have with us former IG CRPF MP Nathaniel joining us at this time. We should also have former Under Secretary Home RVS Maniji also in a bit. Mr. Nathaniel, namaste, Jai Hind. Thank you for your time, sir. How big is this operation and why is it so significant? Kanker.
Good evening to you. Thank you for having me on your show. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate the BSF and the DRG personnel for the great achievement they have had, and I attribute this largely due to the fact that the intelligence was very accurate. You see, whenever things go awry, then we blame the intelligence setup, but now here the intelligence was so accurate that the personnel of BSF and the DRG, they could go to the spot, and by virtue of surprise element, they could take them on and cause so many casualties. And I would say that just because of the information, pinpoint information that was given, that these particular chaps are hiding in a particular location, they could go and carry out the raid and kill so many people. And I'm sure that the figure of the Maoists killed would rise further, because many of them may have been injured also. From the report that I read, I am told that about 40 to 50 Maoists were camping there.
Yes.
And it was more or less a permanent camp. So it's quite possible many of them may have been injured also, and they may have been carried by the other comrades of theirs. It's only with passage of time we would be able to get the correct figures as to the number of casualties that have occurred on the Maoist side. The greater achievement is that we did not have any casualties except for the 3 injuries, and I believe their condition is stable and they'll recover speedily, and I hope they'll be back for duty.
But this Bastar, Kanker region, this entire region, why is it so integral to this entire Maoist movement? This seems to be their stronghold and they're always around this area. The neighboring regions are not so Maoist infested, Mr. Nathaniel. And this seems to be the fort, this area, this region.
Yes. Yeah, because Abujmand has not been actually been penetrated by the security forces. It is only of late that the security forces have started penetrating and started displacing them. Only last year they have established about 14 camps right in the Abujmand area. That has sent tremors in the ranks of the Maoists, and because of that, they are now shifting places, and their intelligence is also coming forward very easily. Earlier it was very difficult to get the intelligence about the movement of Maoists. But now with the security forces having penetrated into the Abujmand area, the intelligence is also now easily available. And you must have read last month about 3 people were killed by the Maoists merely on the suspicion that they were informing the security forces. After that, an operation was launched, and some of the Maoists were killed in that operation by the Cobra battalion of CRPF.
Well, I got Mr. RVS.
So that's the reason that these people now are
Mr. Nathaniel, we have RVS
That's the
Maniji
reason
also
they are
joining
now.
us. Yeah, please complete. I just wanted another short question to you, Mr. Nathaniel, if I may ask you this. What is their source of funding? Is it the business of the Tendu leaves in that area? Is it the bauxite? Where are they getting this kind of money to get such high-end weaponry that includes light machine guns and AK-47s?
Of course, the fact is that earlier they were extorting money from the businessmen, and all businessmen had to perforce give them money. Otherwise, they would not be able to operate in that area. So, with that money, they are able to extort and purchase weapons also. And some of these weapons would be the ones that have been snatched away from the security forces whom they have killed in the past. So, it is not that they have that much money to get the weapon, but some of them are the ones that they may have snatched. These include LMGs and SLR rifles and even INSAS rifles.
Right.
So these rifles, mostly they are used by the security forces.
Right. Mr. RVS Mani, your thoughts on this, sir? Why has it taken us such a long time to get into their fortress or Gad, this entire region, this Bastar Kanker region?
Let's be very clear. It's unfortunate that two Cobra fellows were lost. Cobra boys were lost, but Cobra is a dedicated force out of the CRPF. They are doing a lot of good work and a lot of penetration has taken place. 31st January, Sukma, Bijapur also they encountered. Prior to that, there was an ambush. That's a different matter. Repeatedly, they do it. These are all facts. So they have been getting a lot of successes. Smaller successes do not get reported. Certain ambushes which have been averted or certain attacks which have been averted do not get reported. So the successes have happened. The quality of infrastructure, the quality of police infrastructure, etc., and the penetration into we had a failed experience of Salwa Judum in 2000, first decade of 2000, but now there's a better coordination between the local population and the forces, so they don't get alienated and they are not trying any adventures like Salwa Judum, which was a failed experiment. But more of them, the disaffection is being encountered. That is one part of the story. Intelligence has strengthened. Lot of intelligence gathering has happened through the beat constable level and all that.
Right.
This is also one of the major reason for successes. There are successes, but once in a while they do it. And about the question you asked about arms, Mr. Nathaniel had told you that they snatch arms and all that. That is also there. And besides that, the money which they fund is astounding. The entire plan is about Pashupati to Tirupati. The Chinese funding are still flowing into it in whatever form. There is no doubt about it. Global Times itself has got a lot of interest there. Footprints are their supporters are able to penetrate. They give leadership and all that. That footprint is very much there. So this is also one of the reasons that they are repeatedly able to raise their hand in spite of this success of the security forces.
Right.
But now this is a major breakthrough. What has happened in Kanker yesterday, I'm sure the momentum will be sustained and more sleeper cells of Bastarlites will be broken down. That's what I expect.
Nearly 36 districts have been rid of. The number between 2013 to 2023 has dropped to about 70 from 106 districts across AP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Telangana, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. But this region in Chhattisgarh, this seems to be the fulcrum of all their operations. Is that true, Mr. Nathaniel? And what can be done? And increasingly as development reaches there, communication reaches there, people and they get connected to the rest of humanity and Bharat, this region. Do you think this disaffection with this kind of way, the Maoist kind of way, will also come into play? How much of duress is involved where families are forced to part with their children, their young kids, who then have to go ahead and join this kind of cadre?
Now with the security forces establishing camps in different places, that fear element among the villagers is gradually fading away. And because of the fear element fading away, the information also would start coming to the security forces without much of a difficulty. The other thing is that because of the penetration of the security forces in these areas, the development also has started coming to these areas. And because of these developments, like the construction of roads, the establishment of mobile towers, and even facility of education, because of these things, the people are now getting wary of the fact that development had been a casualty as
Right.
far as the Maoists were ruling the place over there.
Right.
But now with the development gradually coming into every place, they would definitely not be supporting, and they may even now challenge the Maoists wherever they are now moving around.
Right.
So it's
Now-
not a very big thing that Hanji.
Gee, so this is this 5-point strategy that has now come out, and that we will try and put out here, and we're putting out on our screens also, in terms of the penetration, in terms of development. But RVS Maniji, my final question is also that in the past, have officials and netas been guilty of being hand in glove because there is a money on the take?
There is a money on the take, and in fact, this one ambush 2-3 years back. 1-2-3 years back, it happened against the Sukma Narayanpur area itself. There were certain political differences between within the ruling party then, which had also been an impetus. I do not know how much of it is, who is involved, where is involved, or not. Politicians do fish in troubled waters is a fact, especially in Chhattisgarh. It is a fact that they do fish in troubled waters, and like they have tried to pit one against the other for their own political gains. But I think that part of it is over now. The new government would be able to do better. That's what is the expectation, because this happened in the one CRPF ambush. There were very clear reports that the CRPF ambush, some political issues were there. That is the reason for the ambush to have taken place. But at the same time, our own security forces have got better transportation facilities now. They can react with much more alacrity and urgency than what it was even 10 years or 15 years back. So the quality of transportation, the quality of equipment, the bulletproof jackets, everything has improved. So that is the game changer. Here it is all about time. When the ambush happens, time. When cross-firing happens, it's all about the reaction time.
Right.
And there now we have scored a lot of points, and that is we have more successes.
Right.
So the investment which has happened in the police modernization, and also the engagement of people, locals, along with by the security for central security
Right.
forces.
Well, there has to be a comprehensive, if the fulcrum is then rooted out, if weeded out, if it is destroyed, then perhaps the rest of it can also be done. There is an effort to try and shrink it and then bring them down and box them into one area. But now should we just get into that area and then destroy them right from their roots? That's the big question. Mr. Nathaniel and Mr. Mani, thank you very much for your time. I've run out of time here on this edition of The Right Stand.